Welcome students, chapter number 4 of Vistas, The Enemy by Paul Lesbuck. Another chapter where the background is war, a war between America and Japan. And you can understand how this war culminated in the form of America dropping 2 atomic bombs on Japan. You can understand the relationship between these two countries were bitter. Of course, they were enemies to each other. So we can understand the common people also, they will consider each other their enemy. Now, in such a condition, if one enemy, due to any circumstance, comes to another enemy's doorstep, what would that person do? Of course, they'll show the enmity and they consider the other person to be an enemy. They will hand over the person to the army or the police. In this case, the thing was entirely different. The reason, that person who was acting as the enemy was also a doctor. So what is this whole story about? It's about a Japanese doctor. His name is Dr. Sadao Hoki, living a very peaceful life with his wife Hana and 2 children. Their life was going very normal and the war was going on. Sadao was there in the army as a doctor, but he was not sent with the army. He was staying back. And by chance, when both of them are standing in the balcony of the house, they see a person who is pushed out of the waves on the beach. And when they go and see that person, they think that person to be a wounded fisherman or something. When they turn the man is an American. And moreover, he is an American POW, that is prisoner of war. Now what should both of them do? For them, this particular person is their enemy. So what should Sadao Hoki and Hana do? They should simply hand over this enemy to the army. But that man was wounded and Sadao was also a doctor. Now in this case, he is stuck with a dilemma whether he should perform the duty of a nationalist or whether he should perform the duty of a doctor, because the duty of a doctor was calling him from inside, this man is wounded. If you'll hand him over to the army, obviously they'll not take care of him. He's already wounded, he might die. And as a doctor, he was trained that you cannot let anybody die in front of you. Now Sadao was stuck with a dilemma. Hana solves the dilemma as she sees Sadao is not able to take a decision. And they take the man home. After taking the man home, Sadao operates the man. He is wounded because he had a bullet hit at the back. He removed the bullet. The man was okay. Now Sadao wanted this man to go, but the man was feeling himself safe in an enemy's house. Sadao by any ways could not convince that man to go. And then he helps this man to escape towards the last. This is how the whole story goes, where one enemy comes to another enemy's house. This enemy saves that enemy, and towards the last we find that he also helps that enemy to escape. And when he is standing at the same place, the balcony of his house, the story begins from there and ends also there. And when he is standing at the same place, he wonders, why I could not kill him? The man was my enemy, and moreover he was a prisoner of war. I could have killed him, but he did not and he could not, and he wondered towards the last why I did not kill him. So here is this whole story. The chapter is a long chapter, so you have to understand the chapter in 4 portions or 5 portions. That will depend on how fast we are able to complete it, and this is how we are going to take this chapter. Now the chapter begins with, I told you Sadao was standing in the balcony of his house. And as he was standing there, the story goes into flashback. So this is the best method of telling somebody's past and telling us something about that character. And as he was standing in the balcony of his house and thinking of the past, let us see what all things come in his mind about the past. So there is one whole 6-mark question over here, and that is that what was Sadao's thoughts as he was standing in the balcony of his house in the beginning of the chapter, because the same thing will come towards the end also. So as he was standing in the balcony, and that too in the beginning of the chapter, he was thinking of the past, what were his thoughts? So this is a complete long question, and at the same time there are small 2-mark questions also. So as we'll continue reading, I'll tell you this also, how are the small questions framed in this. But the long question, keep in mind, if you'll prepare this, your question would be prepared. And that is, what were Sadao's thoughts as he was standing in the balcony of his house? He remembered his father, he remembered how he became a doctor, he remembered meeting Hana, and he remembered how he got married to Hana. So these all 3-4 things are coming together. So these will be smaller questions. Let us see the bigger question here. Okay. Dr. Sadao Hoki's house was built on a spot of the Japanese coast where as a little boy he had often played. Now understand this, students, if you can gather a visual image. This is the sea over here, then there was a little bit part of a beach here, then there were rocks, and on the rocks over here there was Sadao's house. So as he was standing in the balcony of his house, he could see the beach, he could see the coast, he could see the islands over here, and there were pine trees growing here. So it was on a height that he was standing, he was looking at the sea. It was a sea facing bungalow, so he was standing here in the balcony of his house. Okay. The low square stone house was set upon rocks well above a narrow beach that was outlined with bent pines. As a boy, Sadao had climbed the pines, supporting himself on his bare feet, as he had seen men do in the South Seas when they climbed for coconuts. His father had taken him often to the islands of those seas, and never had he failed to say to the little brave boy at his sides, "Those islands yonder," yonder means there, this old English, "those islands yonder, they are the stepping stones to the future for Japan." Now, as a little boy, he did not understand the meaning of stepping stones. He said, stepping stones means these are islands where we step from one island, second island, third island. Where will we go? He did not understand that stepping stones actually means the steps that we take for achieving something. That is stepping stones. So he asked the father, "Where shall we step from them?" Sadao had asked seriously. "Who knows?" his father had answered. "Who can limit our future? It depends on what we make it." This is how he explained the little child. But the thing to be noted here is Sadao remembered each and every word said by his father because he was so much attached to his father. So if you are asked a question, prove that Sadao was much attached to his father, you're getting a point over here. And that point is that he remembered each and every word said by his father. Now let's come to the next page. Sadao had taken this into his mind as he did everything his father said. One more point to prove that he was attached to his father. He did everything that his father said. His father, who never joked or played with him, like you can say he might not be a good father, he never joked or played, but who spent infinite pains upon him, who was his only son. And Sadao understood, my father is giving so much pain to make me educated and to become or to make me a good person. So this is how, when children understand what are their parents doing, this can be the best thing in their lives, because many children fail to understand the hard work that is put in by their parents. He could understand this. So he was a very good son. Father was a very good father, and he was attached to his father. This is the second point. Then Sadao knew that his education was his father's chief concern. For this reason, he had been sent at 22 to America to learn all that he could learn of surgery and medicine. He had come back at 30, and before his father died, he had seen Sadao become famous not only as a surgeon but also as a scientist. You understand this, students? He was a very famous doctor, a very good surgeon, but at the same time was a scientist also. That means a brilliant mind and a brilliant person. So if you are asked the question, prove that Sadao was attached to his father, the first point, he remembered each and every word said by his father. He understood how his father was giving infinite pains for his education, and he did everything that his father said. So this is, we know that he was so much attached to his father. Now the second thing, as I told you, Sadao was there in the army, but he was not sent with the army. Although a doctor's duty or a doctor's necessity is more there in the army, because people and soldiers get wounded. But he was not sent with the army. What was the reason? So let us see the second small question. Because he was perfecting a discovery which would render wounds entirely clean. Render wounds entirely clean means he was working on an antiseptic. Okay. Render wounds entirely clean. He had not been sent abroad with the troops. Also, he knew there was some slight danger that the old general might need an operation. Students, that time Japan had an army and army had a general. And this general had become old and he required an operation. And for that he depended only on Sadao. So he did not send Sadao with the army. The old general might need an operation for a condition for which he was not being treated medically. And for this possibility, Sadao was being kept in Japan. Students, if you are asked the reason why was not Sadao not sent with the army, one reason is that he was doing some research work on some antiseptic first. And second reason was that the old general required some medical help and he depended only on Sadao. Because of this, he was not sent with the army. So we have done two questions till now. Prove that Sadao, how would you know that Sadao was attached to his father? And the second thing is that why was Sadao not sent with the army? Now see the third part, how he met Hannah and how he got married to Hannah. This in fact was one of the best part of his life, and he was remembering it while standing in the balcony of his house. So let us see it. Clouds were rising from the ocean now. The unexpected warmth of the past few days had at night drawn heavy fog from the cold waves. You understand this, students? Because of the sea and the sea water, and because the temperature becomes quite low, then there is fog. And he was standing in the balcony here. So he was seeing the fog coming, and he said, slowly this fog will come towards the house also. It will cover the whole house. Then he will go inside, because he'll not be able to see anything outside then. Okay. Then Sadao watched the mist hide outlines of a little island near the shore and then come creeping up the beach below the house, wreathing around the pines. In a few minutes, fog would be wrapped about the house too. Then he would go into the room where Hannah, his wife, would be waiting for him with the two children. So we have been informed, it's a wife Hannah and he has two children. Then, but at this moment the door opened and she looked out, a dark blue woolen haori over her kimono. You know this, that kimono is the Japanese dress, and haori is, in case if it becomes a little bit cold, it's a woolen garment which is worn over the kimono. That's called the haori. A dark blue woolen haori over her kimono. She came to him affectionately and put her arm through him as he stood, smiled and said nothing. He had met Hannah in America. Students, he was sent to become a doctor to America, and there he had met Hannah. But see, one more point to prove he was attached to his father. How? Just see here. But he had waited to fall in love with her until he was sure she was a Japanese. Students, nobody can control an emotion like love. But he did not fall in love with Hannah because he wanted first of all to confirm that she was a Japanese, because he knew his father would never consent their marriage unless Hannah was a Japanese. So he said, I'll not go against my father, because if I fall in love with any person who is not a Japanese, I'll have to go against my father. I'll never go against my father. So he controlled this emotion also, because he wanted to confirm that Hannah was a Japanese or not. So see here, his father would never have received her unless she had been pure in her race. Now you'll wonder something over here. If he was so against another culture, why did he send Sadao to America to become a doctor? The reason is he knew that there he would become a successful doctor. So he compromised with the things over there. So you can understand that, was he a good father? Yes. And was Sadao a good son? Obviously. Now, until he was sure she was Japanese, his father would never have received her unless she had been pure in her race. He wondered often whom he would have married if he had not met Hannah, and by what luck he had found her in the most casual way, by chance literally, at an American professor's house. Students, Hannah was not a doctor, so it was not that it was the same college or something. He had met Hannah at Professor Harley's house. Who was Professor Harley? Just see here. The professor and his wife had been kind people, anxious to do something for the few foreign students. A very good gesture from a teacher. Professor Harley and his wife, they wanted to be good to the foreign students, especially those who had come from Japan, everybody. And they called those students at their house for food, for dinner. And this was how Sadao wanted to go, and plus there he met Hannah. So let us see what happened. The professor and his wife had been kind people, anxious to do something for their few foreign students, and the students, though bored, had accepted this kindness. Sadao had often told Hannah how nearly he had not gone to Professor Harley's house that night. The rooms were so small, the food so bad, the professor's voice so voluble. But he had voluble, one who speaks a lot, and loudly also. So voluble, but he had gone, and there he had found Hannah, a new student. Sadao often told Hannah that I was not going that day, but thankfully I went. So I found you. Although he was not going, and he went there, and had felt he would love her if it were at all possible. Now he felt her hand on his arm and was aware of the pleasure it gave him, even though they had been married years enough to have the two children, for they had not married heedlessly. Heedless means without paying attention. This is a good word, students. You can use this in extended composition also. Like if you're writing a letter to the editor or somebody, you can say, kindly pay heed. Pay heed, pay attention. Okay. Then married heedlessly in America. They had finished their work at school and had come home to Japan, and when his father had seen her, the marriage had been arranged in the old Japanese way. Although Sadao and Hannah had talked everything over beforehand, they were perfectly happy. She laid her cheek against his arm. Students, here I am ending the first portion, that is Sadao's past. What have we done today is prove that Sadao was attached to his father. Points: he remembered each and every word said by his father. He understood how his father was working hard for him. He did not fall in love with Hana till he did not know Hana was a Japanese. Fourth, their marriage was in the traditional Japanese style. They did not marry heedlessly in America and come back. Okay, they took the father's permission, and the marriage was in the traditional Japanese style. So these are the 4 points to prove Sadao was attached to his father. One more point will come afterwards that I'll let you know when we do that particular point. Okay, so these are the 4 points. The second question, first question you have understood, prove Sadao was attached to his father. Second question, why was Sadao not sent with the army? The answer is very clear, because he was doing some work on some antiseptic, first thing, and second thing was that the general required an operation. So these are the 2 points. Third, if you are asked the question, how did Sadao meet Hana in America and how did they get married? I've already told you how the things happened. In Professor Harley's house, they met. He found out she was Japanese, and then both of them took permission, and the marriage was in the traditional Japanese style. So 3 questions we have done. The smaller question, 1 long question, Sadao's thoughts of the past. Now we are going to do one more important thing. And here is Sadao's dilemma. Student, dilemma means when we are confused between two things which are not different, which are so much same, that's why we are confused. Sadao as a doctor, Sadao as a nationalist. He cannot leave the nationalist, he cannot leave the doctor. So now for him, he was stuck between these two duties. What happened, I told you. They saw a man coming, and then when they reached there, they found the man was an American prisoner of war. They were stuck with the dilemma, and who solved the dilemma was Hana. But how did this whole thing happen? Let us do this part. Now, it was at this moment that both of them saw something black come out of the mist. It was a man. He was flung up out of the ocean. Not flung. Just a minute. Okay. It was at this moment that both of them saw something black. It was a man. He was flung up out of the ocean. Flung. It seemed to his feet by a breaker. Breaker means a strong wave. He staggered. Staggered, you can understand, you are not able to maintain the balance. Okay. He staggered a few steps. His body outlined against the mist. His arms above his head. He was like this. And that means that he was staggering. He was holding his head, and then he fell down like that. Okay. His head buried in the sand. Then outlined against the mist, his arms above his head. Then the curled mist hid him again. Who's that? Hana cried. She dropped Sadao's arm, and they both leaned over the railing of the veranda. Now they saw him again. The man was on his hands and knees crawling. He was all on the on the floor, hands and feet, and then he was crawling. Then he fell down. Okay. Then they saw him fall on his face and lie there. A fisherman, perhaps, Sadao said, washed from his boat. He ran quickly down the steps behind him. Hana came, her white sleeves flying. A mile or two away, and on either side there were fishing villages. They thought it might be a fisherman. But here was only the bare and lonely coast, dangerous with rocks. The surf beyond the beach was spiked with rocks. Somehow the man had managed to come through them. He must be badly torn. Students, if somebody just comes out of the sea and drops on the beach, then it's nothing that might hurt him. But there were rocks also, and he might have got hurt from the rocks, and that was what they were assuming. Now what happened when they reached there? They saw when they came towards him that indeed that was so. The sand on one side of him had already a stain of red. And if the sand becomes red, that means the man was bleeding. Then, "He's wounded," Sadao exclaimed. He made haste to the man who lay motionless, his face in the sand. An old cap stuck to his head soaked with seawater. He was in wet rags of garments. Sadao stopped, Hana at his side, and turned the man's head. They saw the face. "A white man," Hana whispered. Now for them, war was going on, and this is an American. Okay, a white man, Hana whispered. Yes, it was a white man. The wet cap fell away, and there was his wet yellow hair, long as though for many weeks it had not been cut. And upon his young and tortured face was a rough yellow beard. He was unconscious and knew nothing what they did for him. Now Sadao remembered the wound, and with his expert fingers he began to search for it. Blood flowed freshly at his touch. On the right side of his lower back, Sadao saw that a gun wound had been reopened. That means the man was hit. Maybe the bullet was still inside, but the wound had a little bit repaired. But because he had got stuck with the rocks, the wound had reopened, and then the blood was flowing out. Okay. It was bad chance that the rock had struck the wound. Oh, how is bleeding? Hannah whispered again in a solemn, serious voice. The mist screened them now completely, and at this time of day, no one came by. The fishermen had gone home, and even the chance beachcombers could have considered the day at an end. Beachcombers, you understand? Once they clean the beach, like they collect shells and everything, they are called beachcombers. Nobody was there except these two. Then, what shall we do with this man? Sadao muttered, but his trained hands seemed of their own will to be doing what they could do to stanch the fearful bleeding. Students, I'll just draw your attention towards something here. He was saying something, but he was doing something else. Sometimes there is a difference between our thoughts and actions. He was saying, what shall we do? And what was he doing? He was trying to save the man. So sometimes our thoughts or our speech and actions, they don't match. Okay, now he packed the wound with the sea moss that strewed the beach. There was some sea moss growing there. He picked up and then he closed the wound so that the blood does not come out. The man moaned with pain in his stupor, unconsciousness, but he did not awaken. The best thing that we could do would be to put him back in the sea, Sadao said, answering himself. Now that the bleeding was stopped for the moment, he stood up and dusted the sand from his hands. Yes, undoubtedly, that would be the best. Students, what was he thinking? Let's pick him and throw him into the sea. He said this. And Hannah also said what? Yes, this is the best thing that we should do. Okay, but are they able to do it? Just see. Yes, undoubtedly that would be the best, Hannah said steadily. But she continued to stare down at the motionless man. If we sheltered a white man in our house, we should be arrested. And if we turned him over as a prisoner, he would certainly die. Students, how many things have happened? First thing they think, let him throw into the sea. Second, they say, if we take him to the house, police would come to know, they might arrest us. And third thing is, if we hand him over as a prisoner, he would surely die. So they are stuck with a dilemma. Then, the kindest thing would be put him back into the sea, Hannah said. But neither of them moved. They were staring with a curious repulsion upon the inert figure. Inert is like motionless, and repulsion is when you are completely repelled by something. You don't want to do anything. Then, what is he? Hannah whispered. There is something about him that looks American, Sadao said. He took up the battered cap, the cap which had become battered, like few things were written on it. Just see. Yes, there almost gone was the faint lettering. There were some letters. And what was that? A sailor, he said, from an American warship. He spelled it out. U.S. Navy. The man was a prisoner of war. He said he's a prisoner of war. If we take this man home, we are doing a crime. Okay, now in the back, he's escaped, Hannah cried softly, and that's why he's wounded. In the back, Sadao agreed. Students, he must be running. That's why he must be shot from the back. The bullet wound was not in the front. The bullet wound was at the back. That means he might be running. Then they hesitated, looking at each other. Then Hannah said with resolution, come, are we able to put him back into the sea? If I am able to, are you? Sadao asked. Now both of them don't have the strength to pick that man. We are not murderers that we can pick anybody and throw him into the sea. Now, no, Hannah said, but if you can, do it alone. Sadao hesitated again. The strange thing is, now why is this hesitation? Because he is a doctor also. The hesitation is, of course, stuck between the duty of a nationalist, duty of a doctor. The strange thing is, he said, that if the man were whole, I could turn him over to the police without difficulty. I care nothing for him. He is my enemy. You need to understand this. On the fore, like in the front, he's saying, the man is my enemy. I don't care. If he doesn't care, then why is he trying to save him? This is what I'm saying. There's a difference because the reason is that there is a dilemma going on. Okay, all Americans are my enemy and he's only a common fellow. You see how foolish his face is. But since he is wounded, you also cannot throw him back to the sea, Hannah said. Then there's only one thing to do. We must carry him into the house. Hannah was a very dutiful wife. She understood Sadao cannot take a decision, so she needs to take the decision, and she decided to take the man home because she knew he'll not throw him into the sea also. Now, but the servant, Sadao inquired, we must simply tell them we intend to give him to the police, as indeed we must, Sadao. We must think of the children and your position. It would endanger all of us if we did not give this man over as a prisoner of war. Certainly, Sadao agreed. I would not think of doing anything else. Thus agreed, together they lifted the man. Here I am stopping. This is the first portion today, and we have done few questions in the beginning. The last question that we have to revise is, what is the dilemma? The dilemma is, first thing they decide to throw the man into the sea. Both of them don't have the strength. It's not physical strength. It is that mental strength that was there. They did not have the strength. They could not hand him over to the police because he is wounded. And if they hand him over to the army or the police, then in that case, they would not take care of him, he would die. If they take him home, the servants would come to know of it, they might inform the police, Sadao could be arrested. Sadao is not able to take the decision because he is a doctor and a nationalist also. Hana takes the decision and they take the man home. So now this question can be asked, what was Sadao and Hana's dilemma and how did they solve it? So in all, we have done 5 questions today and I hope the chapter is clear till here. Then we'll continue what happens after they take the man home and how does Sadao operate the man. But before that, there is important role of servants also, because there are the servants in the house and they will obviously object the coming of an American to their house. So the second portion, we'll do it in the next session. Thank you.